yeah, I could do that. In fact, I'd love to do that. I mean, one of the reasons I wrote my book, guys, is to talk about, what martial arts are in the fight game and the development of the human being. And in fighting, there's some odd things that go on. With youth, we have strength, we have speed, we have dexterity, we have these natural things we can do, right? But wisdom comes from experience and age, right? And the most difficult thing is to teach a fighter to meet those two things at the proper timing. Rather, what happens is we get overexcited. The hype takes over. Peyton Talbott had a certain look, right? Handsome kid, certain look, fit the mold, right? Like the Sean O'Malley mold, right? And Sage Northcutt before him fit a different kind of mold. That would have been like more of like the Americana apple pie 80s thing. But did any of them get the real fair chance to develop to their maximum potential? Let me give you a parallel in boxing, and I hope you know boxing a little bit. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Was not really a good fighter at all, right? He was his father's son, he was a spoiled rich kid, and he wasn't very good. So they matched him very, 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 very carefully. But they got him to the point with proper matching and manipulations behind the scene where he challenged for the lineal middleweight title, and he actually knocked that champion down. And there was a chance where he almost could have won that title for real. He didn't, of course, but he came close. And, that's your job as a manager, to bring out the best in the fighter. Forget the fact that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was an absolute farce, right? Like, your job is to make them as good as they can be. Now, the hard part with the UFC, right, at some point they're going to have to face challenges, right? Peyton Talbott had to face a guy, as I remember, I saw the fight, and the guy was a grappler, right? An old school grappler, just took him down and wouldn't let him up and wouldn't let him do his fancy stuff. And that's the hard part. I will tell you this, guys. The fighting game is all manipulated. And what do I mean by that? Guys, it's who you face, right? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was undefeated going into that middleweight title fight with Sergio Martinez. Peyton Talbott wasn't allowed a run like that, right? Had he been allowed run like that, he might have developed better. But people are hungry for action, for development and whatnot. What happened to Sage Northcutt, right? Turned out not even to be really a small fighter. He's over in ONE FC as a middleweight or something, and he never fully fulfilled his promise. But that's the thing. I will tell you this too. It's really hard to reach young fighters. Their ego has them believing that they're better than they are, no matter what. So actually teaching them and developing is a skill in itself. You got to have a lot of patience. I don't have it. I can't stand them. I just rather spar with them, and what they can get out of that, I'm glad for them. What they can't get out of it, well, too bad for you, And by the way, all of them do certain things. Either they'll wait till I'm tired, or they'll go really hard when we're not supposed to be going really hard, or they'll throw MMA in when we're not doing takedowns. But that's the ego, right? The ego is trying to protect itself. And man, I've been around this game a long time. I've seen a lot of Peyton Talbots come and go. The ones who make it, a lot of it has to do with luck, man. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's next for Peyton Talbott, and nobody else does either. But read my book, Warrior of the Light. You'll love it.